Alright, I have planted the trees, the ones from Stark Brothers. Put them out. I'm going to keep them at a really short height. I'm going to keep them pretty much standard size, or not standard, excuse me, dwarf. I'm going to keep them all dwarfing size. Even though they're semi-standard rootstock, you can keep them dwarf. I'll probably just do a open center, which is not normally used for apples, but helps at keeping them fairly dwarfing. And I staggered this row with the row that already exists. There's an apple tree, there's another apple tree from last year that I planted, and then down farther there's some peaches. And this one's offset by 5 foot, so there are 10 foot on center. So this row is 10 foot, this foot is 10 foot on center, and this one is 10 foot on center. And these three rows are 6 foot between each row. So there's not quite 10 foot between each tree, but it's pretty close. Now this one is the let's see, the Red Rome Beauty. We got a Red Delicious over here. We planted the Golden Delicious here. Where that stake is, I'm going to put that Fuji apple that's still in the pot later on. This one is the Granny Smith apple. That's an actual dwarfing rootstock, so we'll have to see how that compares to the standard. And I believe this one over here is Arkansas Black. Yep, Arkansas Black. And then we'll go down. So that's where I'm going to plant the Fuji from Willis. Right here we planted one of the peaches. The reason we planted them down here is because they're next to some of the other peaches. This one got away from me last year. This is a 4-in-1 peach. I gotta prune back that one branch way back. It became way too dominant. I let it get out of control. That's a Saturn Pinto peach. So this one that we planted, let's see. This is the 4th of July peach. And then this one is the Blushing Star peach. And the added sound effects are my son. He helped me plant today. He's in my backpack carrier. So, and then from the Rain Tree Nursery, I planted the Nugent Cherry. I think it's New York 518. I think was the other name for it. You can see the buds are starting to green out. Got those last week, so those are in the ground. And let's see, this is the Honey Sweet Pear, I believe, yeah. So that was planted last week. I don't see much activity from that one yet. Those two are from Rain Tree. And then down here I got a whole bunch of rootstocks set to go. Some have grafts on them. And then out here I planted the Plum from Stark's. So here's that plum I just planted, the Ozark Premier Plum. So today's the 13th of April. We'll see how they do. Most of the trees in this row are peaches. All the trees in this row are cherries. They pretty much all were planted last year. That one right here is a 4-in-1. I gotta tie down the branches this year. One way there's 2 trees on the end. Those are apples. And then for the most part, this last row here, this is the only sour cherry that I have. That one's a few years old. It got tree fell on it, knocked the branches off, so kind of wrecked its development. And then a buck jumped the fence and started rubbing it. It's always fighting with the deer. This one is the Hollywood Plum from Rain Tree Nurseries. Kind of looks kind of dry, but it's got plenty of rain in the past few days. Some green in that branch, so just leave it like it is for now and see what comes alive on it. And here's a plum tree. Here's another plum. I gotta prune off these lower branches here, but this one's coming along decent. Here's a methyl plum. That one's, the buds are starting to all come out. Oh, Jacob, you singing? You're adding sound effects? Another small, this is a 2-in-1 plum. Like I said, last year was kind of hectic and let things get out of hand. I gotta prune this top part. It's kind of become too dominant, so gotta prune that back and let the second half grow. Here's a bigger pear tree. That's a Kiefer pear. And then here's a 2-in-1 pear from Stark Brothers from last year. Got a little bit of weed control to go take care of this year, but gonna get a big load of mulch and put some landscaping fabric down, and it'll look just like this row here. So here's a Macintosh Apple. I gotta take that center piece right out, and then it'll be fairly nicely open center. Take that center growth right out and wind out with 5 branches there, 5 main branches. So hey, this is Josh Bestel, and thanks for watching.